I think it's on. Hi, me again, Heather. I uploaded a video, well, I actually made it like a week ago, but I don't think it uploaded properly. So I wanted to give a little update, probably partly for my benefit more than anything, but also I think, as I said in my other video, people with vestibular problems, whether it be labyrinthitis, vestibular neuritis, anything like that, I think you need some hope and you need to know that it is going to get better. And as I said in my other video again, which is all about my story and how my vestibular problem came about, I think it's really important to not give up, because there were stages, and I've seen people say this in other videos, where you think about wanting to end it all. And I don't think I ever would have done, but those thoughts do creep into your head, and that's really scary for someone who perhaps has never had any mental health problems before, or, you know, I'm really happy with my life. I'm really content with my life. I have a really good job. I have a very stable life, and I feel very lucky and very grateful for that. And so this really rocked me, to the point where, and this is the point of this video, my vestibular problem caused intense anxiety. People who are watching this and have a vestibular problem will know this. I have never really been an anxious person before. I live in London. I am a teacher. I'm a secondary school teacher, so, you know, I'm very used to being in big crowds, of moving things. I'm very used to being very loud, and, you know, I socialise in London, so you have to be loud. I'm very outgoing. So anyway, I've never really had a problem with anxiety. And as soon as this thing started, which was 13th of February, it's now end of April, so it's been a good nearly 2.5, 3 months now, it just hit me. And it's just this feeling on your chest, as if someone is just sitting on your chest, and I just can't describe it. When I first was going through my acute stage, and I couldn't sit up in bed, and I literally was just led like this, looking at the ceiling, thinking, I'm dying, I'm dying, I'm dying. Oh, what's happening to me? I'm dying, I'm dying. At that point, my anxiety was around, I can't sit up. You know, I would have to sit up to attempt to drink some water, normally very unsuccessfully drinking water. But I'd have to try and sit up, and that I was just, no, can't do it. And it's just this feeling, for me it comes from my stomach, and it's just this wash of you know, heart palpitations, totally uncontrollable. So that's kind of where it started for me, and it then got to the point where I had intense anxiety. I started to get slowly better, to the point where I could get up out of bed and I could just about make it to the sofa. So at that point I was at my parents' house, and I just about made it to the sofa every day, and I was glued to the sofa. And my anxiety was, I can't move from the sofa. This is my safe place. I'm not going to move from the sofa. And even if it was just going to the toilet or going to make myself a cup of tea, it would just be this, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And this anxiety makes you overthink everything. You know, you're ill. My brain wasn't working enough at that point to distract myself, really. I was watching very mundane TV. I binge watched Call the Midwife, which is a great series, by the way. But I couldn't do any reading, which is very frustrating for me. I couldn't concentrate enough to do any reading, and I couldn't really concentrate enough on any sort of documentary programs, things where you really have to make your brain work. But what I was really concentrating on, my brain power was all being used by this, what's going on? Are you going to be sick again? Are you going to feel dizzy again? If you stand up, you're going to be dizzy, and therefore you should just stay seated and not move. And actually, having spoken to a vestibular rehabilitation therapist, I now know that was probably one of the worst things for me, because in that acute stage, although you really don't want to, and this anxiety is saying, no, don't do it, you do need to try and get moving. You do need to try and get that vestibular system moving again. So I started on sertraline for the anxiety. I was desperate. As I said in my other video, I was in and out of hospital, really scared, really worried, and I had this intense anxiety, and it got to the point where I actually had to use a wheelchair because I was so anxious about passing out. So I'd be like, Mum, we're gonna go to Little Tesco. You know, like the little Tesco's, the local one. So we're gonna do it. and I'd sit there for about an hour beforehand going, we're going to do it. And I would work myself out, and I'd be sort of trembling as I went in, and I'd be in the wheelchair, so there was no chair. If I passed out while I was in a chair, but it was just as intense. I felt like, honestly, like my heart was going to come out of my chest. I couldn't breathe, and it was awful. On top of obviously all of my other vestibular symptoms, but I'm obviously trying to focus on anxiety now. So I've been taking sertraline now for about 2 months. I do feel like it's made a difference, and I've really been trying to push myself. So as my symptoms have got better, through, I think, majority of that is due to vestibular rehabilitation therapy. So if you can get yourself to someone, do. The only thing I'd say with that is please be careful about the exercise that you do. A lot of them you can find online, but you really need to go to a vestibular therapist so they can analyse exactly what kind of exercises you need, because a lot of them don't work for everybody. So for example, for me, I was okay walking for some reason, but by the stage I'd gone to see her, I was okay walking. So walking and the head turns was kind of okay, made me feel funny still, but not to the point where I was keeling over. But for me, the thing was putting my head up and down and side to side while being seated, and then when standing up still, my balance still wasn't very good. So what I'm saying is, if you're going to do vestibular rehabilitation therapy, make sure you go to a therapist. Mine was 50 quid, done and dusted. Anyway, back to the anxiety. I've been really trying to push myself, so I've been taking my partner out, and I've just been saying, we're just going to go to Boots. We're going to go to Boots, and I'm going to buy lip gloss. You know, I need a goal in going out. So I'd set myself little goals. I'd say, right, okay, today I'm just going to go out to my car, just on the road. I'm just going to sit in my car for a bit, being outside, and then I'm going to come out. Or I say, okay, today I'm going to get my boyfriend to drive me to TK Maxx, and I'm not going to go in, but I'm just going to sit down. And slowly but surely, I was trying to retrain my brain to think there's no reason for you to be anxious necessarily. If you are dizzy, you know you can be okay. And it's got easier and easier and easier, and it's now got to the point where I am driving slightly longer distances, and I'm going out and being more independent, so I can go into the town centre by myself. I have to drive, I can't walk, and walk around and try and feel slightly more normal. But the final thing I wanted to say about the anxiety, so A, it will get better, and you really need to try and challenge yourself. B, if you feel like antidepressants will help you, then do it. I'm not ashamed to say that I'm on them. I think it'll be good for me. Also take supplements. I know that a lot of people talk about supplements, but supplements are really, really important. There's so much on vestibular supplements, but the main one for me, I'd say, is the vitamin B. Definitely do that one, because that really helps with the fatigue. I'm going to do another video on fatigue as well, because that is a big one for me. Big brain fatigue. This thing isn't working. Today, as I said, it's the end of April, and I was feeling really tired this morning. I'm hoping to go back to work for a few hours on Monday, because I've been off now for 10 weeks and I'm in the house by myself every day, and it's tough. So as part of my therapy, I'm going to try and go back. Anyway, so I tried to get up earlier than I would normally do this morning. So I tried to get up at 8 o'clock. I've been getting up at like 10. I've been sleeping a lot. So I got up and I couldn't keep my eyes open. Oh my goodness, I really struggled. And I was wandering around the house like a zombie. And I sat down and I just couldn't keep, I was literally like this. I couldn't keep my eyes open. And I had an eyebrow wax appointment booked, because again, my goal, I thought, well, you know, today I'm going to go out into the town centre, I'm going to drive into town, and I'm going to get my eyebrows waxed. And I felt a bit funny when I was going in the car, and as soon as I arrived, these heart palpitations started, and I started feeling, oh, something's not right here. Oh, you know, I feel really lightheaded and really spaced out. And I wonder whether that was me being anxious and panicking about the fact that I was about to go onto a vertical bed to have my eyebrows waxed. And I wonder whether that was me subconsciously going, what happens if you feel dizzy when you're led down? And what happens if you sit up and you feel dizzy? So I had an anxiety attack today for the first time in I'd say about 4 weeks. And I did it and I got through it, and I literally threw the money at her as I was leaving, and I literally and I got out and I was like, oh no, this is how it started, oh no, it's starting again. But I think that was my anxiety. I really believe that, and it's amazing how much people have said, and I will continue to say, that your vestibular system and your anxiety are linked. So don't think that you have anxiety and then as a separate thing you have vestibular. They are very much linked. And I was saying, oh no, you know, it's come back, and actually, you know, and I was just like, I just need to get home. And I was literally driving like, you can do this. I mean, it's literally 5 minutes down the road. And I got home and I came in and I sat down and I had a really big sleep for like 2 hours, and that was just what I needed. Obviously, you know, you get really tired with this, but so I'm going to end by saying that it's really normal for the anxiety to come back, and I'm really trying not to be hard on myself, and I'm really just trying to say, you know, you've come so far with this, and if you do feel particularly anxious at one point, and I'm going to feel anxious going back to work on Monday, and I already am, and whenever I think about it, my heart's like dum 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 dum, and I start shaking, and I think, what happens if I feel dizzy, and what happens if I feel spaced out, and what happens if I feel like I'm going to pass out, and what happens if I need to go to sleep because I have this overwhelming feeling of sleepiness. You've just got to distract yourself. So I'm going to sit tonight, I'm going to watch a film, I'm going to read a book, and I'm going to chill out for the weekend. If you have any comments, please leave them below, and yeah, have a wonderful day.